Why does queer theology build on liberation theology? Imagine a world where everyone's story is heard and valued. That's what both liberation and queer theology aim for. They challenge old ideas that keep some people on the margins. Liberation theology started in the 1960s and 70s. It focused on helping poor and oppressed communities see their worth through Scripture. It said God cares deeply about justice and wants to free people from unfair systems. It's about seeing God's love in the fight for equality. Queer theology takes this same idea and applies it to LGBTQ+ people. It asks how religious teachings have been used to exclude or condemn queer folks. It reinterprets Scripture to show that sexual and gender diversity are part of God's creation. It says that everyone deserves respect and spiritual acceptance. Both types of theology focus on listening to those who are pushed aside. They believe faith should be a source of liberation, not oppression. Queer theology uses the method of critical reflection, which means questioning traditional ideas and looking at lived experiences. When LGBTQ+ people come out, they are showing acts of radical love. Queer theology sees this as a way of revealing divine love. It also challenges the idea that only certain ways of being are right. It affirms that diversity in gender and sexuality are natural and good. This helps queer people reclaim their spiritual identities and find places in faith communities. They reinterpret biblical texts that have been used to hurt them. They create inclusive language for God and worship spaces that celebrate queer lives. By building on liberation theology, queer theology keeps the focus on justice and fairness. It fights against heteronormativity and patriarchy in religious settings. It shows that faith can be a source of empowerment for LGBTQ+ people. Both approaches want to make sure that everyone, no matter who they are, can find a spiritual home. So, in simple words, queer theology builds on liberation theology because both want to free people from unfair treatment. They use Scripture and tradition to support marginalized groups. Queer theology specifically works to affirm LGBTQ+ identities and challenge exclusion in religious communities. It's about making faith a place of true acceptance and love for all.